Hello, everyone. Okay. So when it comes to video ads, I really like thinking about video ads as a very creative way to just portray whatever product or service that you have inside and into the marketplace, right? So, and the biggest problem that I'm seeing within the entire market right now is that people are going ahead and running ads as a very direct form of just marketing whatever they have. Video ads is something where you want to put out as much creativity as possible so that when you're running ads on any sort of advertising platform, it could be TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, right? Those people don't feel like they're being thrown an ad and shoved an ad on their faces, but rather they feel like, okay, they're just consuming content, which is very entertaining or useful in terms of information. And they genuinely feel the need to go ahead and opt in into their funnel, right? Otherwise, if you just run direct response ads all the fucking time, what happens is you fatigue out of a lot of your creatives very, very fast. And you don't really make a very big dent or any sort of impact into the marketplace, right? Especially with cold traffic, it's very important that you're very creative with your video ad formats. That is why in this SOP I've gone ahead and created like 4 video ad formats that I go ahead and use while creating my video ads, as well as I go ahead and implement these same video ad formats for my clients, right? And I see amazing results within all of my campaigns. I'm going to be putting up all the screenshots on the screen right now. Go ahead, just see the kind of results that I get through my video ads. When you're running these ads on platforms like, all the other social media platforms, you need to keep in mind that each and every social media platform has millions or more than a million amount of users on it. It's in fucking billions, right? There are an N amount of users every single day on all of these social media platforms. And people are fucking doom scrolling the entire time. On Instagram, TikTok, everyone's just doom scrolling. Now, if you go ahead and put in a very direct response ad shoved into their faces while they're scrolling, you need to understand how much time do you have to captivate their attention. With a normal organic post, with a normal video that you post on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, you just have 3 seconds to captivate someone's attention to be able to have them watch the entire video, right? Now, on top of that, if you go ahead and run a video ad of some sort, all right, and you make it very evident that yes, you are selling them something, do you really think you have more than a second on that ad, on that reel of yours? No, right? And that is exactly why you want to go ahead and treat your video ads not as an advertisement, but rather as a creative reel that you're just putting out for audiences to watch. The byproduct of it is people opting in inside of your funnel. So now the 4 video ad formats that we have direct response ads. Which now, if you're running a direct response ad, see, I'm not going ahead and telling you that direct response ads do not work at all. They do work, but if you only run direct response ads, I am telling you, you're going to fatigue out of a lot of your creatives very fast because it's fucking direct response ads. How long do you think you're going to be able to run a direct response ads in people's feed and get a lot of people to opt in? With direct response ads, we have a framework. We call it the D.R.I.P.S framework. All right. Then we come on to the big idea format. This is also a very good video ad format, which I've seen a lot of people run into the marketplace. So that's what it is about. Then you have organic content repurposing, which is one of the best things that you can do, because any which ways people go ahead and put in a lot of creative effort into just putting out a lot of good organic content. And when you start seeing organic content really blowing off on your page, why not use that as an ad? Like, why not use that as an ad? Literally just repurpose it into an ad and you're going to see the same results come in through paid advertisements as well, right? And then we have the growth wave authority creative. This is something that I've made very proprietary, all right, but it is a very good video ad format that we have. So yeah, let's dig in. So with direct response ads, the direct response ad is the workhorse of a cold traffic campaign. It is short, punchy, and engineered to get your ICP to stop scrolling and click through in under 90 seconds. The goal is not to educate. The goal is to make one specific type of person feel called out and click into your funnel. That's the only, which makes them feel that that's the only logical step left now. Okay. So if you want to create very good, strong, direct response ads, this is the exact framework that you need to go ahead and use. All right. So the D.R.I.P.S framework. D stands for disrupt, which is the hook. Pattern interrupt. Your only job in the first 3 seconds is to stop the scroll and say something that makes the viewer pause mid scroll and think, wait, that's me. All right. So example, most online coaching businesses are doing client acquisition completely wrong. If you're posting every day but still not getting clients, then listen up. That's a very strong call out, all right, in a very organic manner where you're not like literally saying, it's not like, oh, if you are a $30,000 per month coaching business, then hear me out. No, it's not that. That's a very generic call out and people already know like, okay, he's going to be selling me something. So with this hook, what I've done is I've bought the best of both the worlds here, all right? So that means I have made the hook call out. I have added the call out within the hook, but I've added it in such a way that it seems very natural, you know. So most online coaching businesses are doing client acquisition completely wrong. If you're posting every day but still not getting clients, listen, because a lot of coaching businesses, it's a fact, a lot of coaching businesses go ahead and post a lot of content on Instagram, but they don't really know why they're posting, what kind of frameworks do they have in place, none of that sort. Yes, they're just blindly going ahead and posting on Instagram without having any sort of data backing up why they're posting this specific piece of content. They have no answer to that, right? So this is the exact call out for it, and it slides in a very natural way, so it does not feel like you're forcing a call out over to someone, right? And then after D, we have the R, which is the relevant audience call out. You name your ICP directly. This filters out the right person in and the wrong person out. Both outcomes are good. You're doing the algorithms targeting work inside the creative itself. Okay. So example, if you're running an online coaching business already making over $20,000 a month, that's a very good call out. Now I, which is the identify the problem. Agitate the pain, not the surface level pain. The specific frustration your ICP feels right now. The more precisely you name it, the more trust you build instantly. See, whenever you're running direct response ads, okay, pain is one of the most important things to hone down into, because if you don't really understand the pain, all right, and you just convey it in the most surface level way possible, then you are not going to get a lot of people in. The entire point of direct response ads is that it follows a very simple framework: hook, audience call out, and identifying the problem and probing into that problem, right? So until you don't identify and probe into that problem very well into the ad itself, you're not going to be able to get a good response out of it. So really understand the ICP's pain points first and then probe into it. When I say probe, I mean, what do that pain points cause harm into the person's life? Like let's say, how is being fat? All right, fat is the problem. They are very fat. That's the problem. But how is it a problem? Why is it a problem? That is what you need to answer. What negativity in their life does being fat cause into their lives? That's the call out that you have to do. That's the probing that you have to do within the ads, right? So yeah, an example, but your revenue is inconsistent every single month and you don't know why, right? Then we get on to P, which is present the mechanism. Introduce your system, not your service, your mechanism. Name it, give it an identity. This differentiates you from every other offer saying the same thing. Inside our client acquisition system, we install a predictable inbound engine that attracts your ideal buyers every single day, right? So, right? And then we get on to social proof, which is very easy. Just stack up a lot of social proof and stuff and then follow it up with the CTA. So the entire framework is very, very simple. You don't have to, there's no rocket science behind this framework at all, right? It's first disrupt with a very good hook, then call out the relevant audience, identify the problem and probe into the problem really well. Don't just be surface level. If you're selling a coaching program and you're selling off to you're helping fat people lose, you're helping 30-year-old fat men lose weight in 30 days, then you know the problem. They're fat. Okay, that's the problem. Now, why is it a problem? What negative outcomes are coming out in their life just because of being fat? If you just state all of that properly, they will feel heard, and that is what's going to make a difference within the direct response ad. A very good direct response ad does all these things properly. It has a very good hook, calls out the audience, identifies the problem and probes into the problem really well, introduces their mechanism in the best way possible so that it does not feel like so it does not feel like a mundane or a very repetitive mechanism that everyone else is using. And then you have social proof to back yourself up with a CTA. And a bad direct response ad does not follow a very good hook, all right? They don't probe and identify the problem really well. They put out a lot of social proof, all right? Depending on, see, if you have social proof, you'll put it. If you don't have, you'll try to hide it in ways which will become very obvious. So, it's very understandable if you have proof or not. And then you will present a mechanism that everyone else is using. So no one's ever going to really be interested enough to opt into your fund. Right? So if you're running direct response ads, this is the exact framework that you want to go ahead and use. All right. Now, hook types for your direct response ad. You have an identity hook, disruption hook, pain hook, call out hook. So an identity hook looks something like this. If you're a coach making $20,000 to $50,000 a month, but still trading time for your money, then this is XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. Then we have disruption hook. Most coaches think posting more content equals more clients, but that is completely wrong. So that's a disruption hook. You're disrupting one of their, belief systems. That's what the disruption hook is all about. Then you have pain hook. So if you're getting bad leads, but if you're getting leads, but they never show up to calls, here is why. So that's a pain. You're getting a lot of leads, but they just don't end up showing up to calls. Why? You don't know. And this is why. Then you have a call out hook. Attention coaches and consultants spending money on ads, but not getting qualified leads. One of the worst hooks is a call out hook, but it works, I hate call out hooks. I hate call out hooks, especially in direct response ads, because it makes it so evident that you're running an ad. But it works. That's why it's there. So if you want to go ahead and use it into your niche and stuff, and it's working, it's a very easy hook to put in. You can go ahead and do it. But if not, then you have these three pain hooks. You have these three hooks right here, which do 10 times better than a call out hook. Right. Now getting on to the ad type 2, which is the big idea framework. Okay, the big idea ad is the scaling ad. While the direct response ad optimizes for speed and immediate action, the big idea builds belief, creates identity, and educates the market over. This is why companies like Hormozy use this format at scale. Short, the B is break the scroll. For cold traffic, the hook must be aggressive, not ease into it. Or an example, if your coaching business is stuck between 10K to 50K per month, you are probably trapped in the swamp, right? Identify the audience now. Call out exactly who this is for. Narrow is better. Example. This usually happens to coaches and consultants who are doing everything right, posting, outreaching, showing up, but still feel like the business is running them. Then give the problem a name. The most powerful step is name the problem. Give it identity. So we call this the swamp. You're working hard, but you're not moving forward. Then intensify the pain, which pretty much means just probe into it. Drowning in delivery, example, drowning in delivery, no leverage, inconsistent revenue, and every month starting from zero. Then D, disrupt the current belief. Example, the problem isn't that you need to work harder. The problem is you have no system pulling in the right people. Then E, explain the mechanism. Introduce your system as a logical answer to their named problem. Example, what actually works is installing a client acquisition system that generates predictable qualified leads without depending on your time every single day. And then A is authority plus proof plus stack plus the CTM, right? So this is a very the entire point of the big idea framework is pretty much just identifying a problem that the audience faces, right? And giving that problem a very good name. That's all. And then you're just kind of productizing their problem and making it so huge into the person's mind that, they have to go ahead and get this solved by your proprietary framework. Yeah, right. So that's the entire point of the big idea framework. It is very similar to the direct response ads in a way, but it's a very good variation from it. Because your hooks and all are not going to be the same as a direct response ads. It's going to be very different, and the structural organization of the script as well is not going to be as same as the direct response ad, right? A very good way that I like to probe problems is actually showing them in real time what's going to happen with inconsistent revenues, with inconsistent leads, with low profit margins, etc., etc. So that's a very good way of visually showing them the pain. If you just verbally speak it out, you're not going to be intensifying the pain. But if you show it to them, they will it will really put in a good impact on the person. So that's how you really intensify pain within while you're probing into a problem. Now the third ad type is organic content. This is one of the best. I love these kind of ads, and I want to show you as well the companies that go ahead and actually use organic content in the right way and plug and play it into ads to get them a very good ROI, right? So the organic to ad qualification filter. Not all organic content qualifies, but before running organic content as an ad, confirm all of the following. All right, you want to confirm these things. Now, does the content speak directly to your ICP's pain points? Not a broad topic. Does the hook stop a cold viewer who has never seen you before? And does it contain elements that tell Meta to who to show it to? And does it contain elements that tell Meta who to show this ad to? All right, so that means your industry language, revenue numbers, specific problems, specific audience callouts and stuff. And does it build credibility or show proof, not just give generic advice? And is there a natural or added CTA at the end? If the content is too broad, too general, or lacks pain focus hook, do not run it as an ad. Broad organic content running as a paid ad trains Meta on the wrong audiences. So you really need to understand which organic contents to actually go ahead and put out. All right, but I want to go ahead and show you the best organic content that people go ahead and run, and I love these. Okay, one of the biggest examples is Jeremy Miner. This guy does not. I don't think Jeremy Miner ever goes ahead and records any ads separately. Whatever he posts on his Instagram is always out there as an ad. All right. So yeah. So see, this is one of his masterminds, I think. Right. And he just recorded the entire mastermind properly. And this is one of the clips that he removed out of it. It's so natural. It's so natural. It's literally like a reel that you would see of Jeremy Miner on your For You page.
Yeah, I really liked what you had to say, but decided now's not a good time for us, so we'll get back to you already night to touch. Well, that would say, can I, yeah, sure. Answer something quite it bad. Because I put together this question. What I'm doing here is I deframing it with this question. Does that make sense? I put together this
See how he just transitioned into the main ad from here. So he had an entire piece of organic content right here itself, and then he just transitioned into the ad where he wanted to sell the NEP2 black book of, questions and stuff, which is very smart, which is actually very smart, because for the first half, he was just, he had a very good organic piece of content that was there, which probably hooked a lot of the right people. If you were into sales and you want to learn how to objection handle and all of that jazz, you would watch the entire video because you would want to know, okay, what's going to happen here. And then he just certainly transitioned into selling his book out. That's how it is done. That's how it's done. That's how you use organic content, mix it up with ads, and have it out there. People will watch it, and you're going to see such a good response, especially in competitive markets like this. I'm telling you. I'm going to put out another example. This one. Okay.
So you this pet, I figure you're asked for this. I'm not quite sure you this yet. So for this is the pair. Now, if you want having like a high status or the expert by using the shoe plastic ads. Now, if you want 273 other questions and phrases aside from what I just put you on this Vibor.
What a very good ad. I'm sure you guys have probably seen this. I need to sell a pen type videos just pop up on your page organically. He did the same thing. He has this piece of content on his page where he's, he does this video, sell me this pen one. And the thing he did is simply, after that got over, he put in his ad creative, his main ad over there, where he wanted to sell the low ticket offer of, the 300 objection handling questions and all of that jazz. Literally, that's how it's done. This guy is one of the best examples of how to go ahead and use organic content, pair it up with ads, and have it out inside of the marketplace. If you really want to understand how he runs his ads, you can go to Meta Ads library, right? Put United States in all ads and put in Jomi Minor. You will see, you'll be able to go through all of his ads and you'll understand exactly how he pairs up organic content with his paid ads, and it's so well done. Then we have another guy here as well, Austin Schneider. He's an amazing person as well, who uses organic content really well to run ads for himself. So this one.
There's not the same service, but a different allies. I'll make videos for your business. We'll create 8 videos a month and deliver them to you. We'll build a complete video system that turns content into a system equal by weekly. We'll handle your video, your social media. We'll create content and post it across all your platforms. We'll position as a go-to authority. Their natural content runs in the background. We'll upload YouTube videos to a high tier all of our audience assistants. Better not is with the same service.
Look at that. Look at that. Just look. I hope you guys watched that entire thing. That was such an amazing ad right there. It literally just felt like a normal reel that pops up onto your feed, right? And then it just subtly ended with follow for more. So he's probably running a profile with an ad over here. But yeah, the call out was really, really simple, right? The call out was simple, the CTA was simple, and the main meat of the entire video, or to the point. Love this organic piece of content that he's using as an ad. And this is exactly how you pretty much pair up organic and ads together and put it out into the marketplace. This is how you're exactly going to get very good results within your ad campaigns. You're going to see a lot of better quality people opting into your funnel too. Because I'm telling you, when you want to move forward into the market and you want to go upstream, selling just through direct response ads is going to get you a lot of lower quality people inside of your funnel, people who are your ICP, but they're just not the upstream people that you want to go ahead and work with, right? But you only get upstream people, very good quality clients, prospects and stuff, if you run ads like these that don't look like ads, but really just speak to the pain points that you are facing as an individual, and then slide in their offer for you so that you can go ahead and opt in into their funnel. That's how it's done. These are how real ads are ran, and this is the fun of running ads. I love running ads like these. The big idea framework that we have, the direct response framework that we have, right? They are very good as well. I'm not saying don't go ahead and use it. Even I go ahead and heavily use those as well. But the real fun and the real crisp results that I get while running ads is from just repurposing organic content for my clients, for myself, and just having them run as ads, So that's how I do it. That's how it's done. And I love running ads like these. And I literally feel happy when I see organic content perform so well when we run them as ads for our clients and for ourselves, because, it's not forcing anyone. You're not looking like a dick selling people like, oh my god, if you're a coach or consultant making anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000 a month, go ahead, watch this video till the end because you're not gonna regret it. Like, oh fuck, bro. Shit sounds so AI at this point, but yeah, I hope you get my point. If you really want to understand how good organic content can be repurposed into ads, follow some very good e-com brands like Rice Supplements. Like, fuck, dude, these guys run amazing creatives, and like this nigga is playing this guy is literally playing a game over here.
This protein tablet is so much we're going to charge for our protein sample packs. Well, looks like they're free. You can now get a strawberry shortcake, chocolate cookie blast.
Look at that. What an amazing ad creative right there. People would watch it. People would actually watch it. I'm telling you, these are how ad creatives should be: fun, engaging, giving out value, giving out the core offer, stating out the pain points in a very entertaining way. Already people have a lot to think about in their own personal life. If you go ahead and run a very painful ad or very direct response ad, people are not going to watch it, bro. They have shit going on. Run ads like these. They're so fun to go ahead and watch, and to also opt into, because you feel a completely different energy just looking at this, right? So yeah. But that's pretty much how organic content has to be repurposed into ads. There's no real framework for this. The more organic content you consume and you put out into the marketplace, and you see that it's performing, you'll easily know how to just plug and play ads into it, and like fit in a very good ad hook and add a CTA into it. That's all. Like, it's very easy to repurpose organic into ads, and it's one of the most easiest things to do, and one of the most beneficial things that you can go ahead and do.